We took our son out of a perfectly good school to help him thrive. We started ALP, Adult Life Preparation, because like so many parents, in 2020, we saw the world change. Schools became less about learning and a lot more about compliance. They were hosting medical intervention days at the school. They were doing trial runs for a virus that we could hide from. They were teaching propaganda and not teaching science. They got caught up in this whole gender nonsense. And my son actually bought a book home, and the book said Top Jobs. And in the book, there was a man sorting the recycling. And that showed me that they had very low expectations of their students. Nothing against the teachers personally and the great work that they do. The majority of them are thoroughly nice people that are coming to the job with love and a passion for teaching. But they've been programmed to teach in a certain way. We know that this way is incredibly ineffective, certainly in the modern world now. We live in a world of AI, and we're still teaching children the same way that we taught them 100 years ago, to memorize a load of nonsense from textbooks that are teaching things that are completely out of date and are now have been scientifically proven to be wrong, such as the theory of evolution, which was proven to be wrong in 2000. Darwin himself even said that it's highly likely it was going to be disproved, and even said when he came up with the idea, which he didn't come up with the idea, but when he did come up with the idea, that it's highly likely that even just going on, if anybody looks at the complexity of a human eye, they're going to see that the theory of evolution is absolute nonsense. And it is for the reason that our education system is in absolute tatters. Every 2 years they make the exams easier and easier for the students. And as a result, we wonder why we're on a decline of innovation and great ideas, because they've reduced the need for innovation and great ideas, and they've increased the need for compliance and silence. Schools are largely targeted on the average being slightly better than it was a couple of years ago, and they do that by making these exams easier so that the average looks like it's getting smarter, but actually it's on a decline. This led us to start looking at exactly what schools are and where they came from. And then we started to understand that schools originate from the Russians, who came up with schools to be able to train and program their people into compliance, be able to join the military and die for their country. And then the Germans took it over and created great factory workers, and the English took it over as well. And our system hasn't changed since then. They're still training compliant, and they're still training for factory workers. But now we've got robotic systems and AI. We don't need factory workers. We need ideas, thinkers, and innovators, none of which, in my opinion, schools help to produce. Schools are very good at helping the collective, but if anyone shows any real exceptional talent in a certain area, they don't really have the capabilities to be able to embrace and focus on that. And as our son had a particular aptitude for mathematics, we thought, well, with all of these reasons and that, we would help him to learn how to learn for himself, rather than just spewing loads of facts at him and asking him to read nonsensical books. And we go from there. Within the space of 4 months, we saw our son's average mathematic age go from 12 to 15 years old. A couple of things he's still learning now. He's just had a chance to have focus, effort on something that he enjoys. And lo and behold, he thrives. So we started to build a program. I used a school platform for that, and then started to get asked if I could build this for other people. And so ALP was born, Adult Life Preparation. We noticed that there were a lot of things that were missing from the school education system, that even though they spend millions of pounds per year sorting out a curriculum, they just seem to have forgotten about teaching law Even though they tell us that ignorance of the law is no excuse, they don't teach us law. They don't teach us about money, finance, investing, business. From an early age, I'm talking really understanding your world. Never mind kicking a football, but really understanding how the world works. And so we built this course to help teach our son, and now we're passing it on to you as well for you to use. I'm constantly building more and more and more. Well, we are building more and more and more. So over time, it will just get even better. I've spent several years studying advanced learning, studying speed learning, how the mind works, psychology, the law and legal systems, and they are separate things. We put this together at considerable cost to ourselves, with us having our son at home going through adult life preparation. One of us doesn't work, which means we've sacrificed holidays, and it's been worth every penny, and I would do it again in a heartbeat.